work on my occupied.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's good. All right. So keep doing your thing. Um, and anytime you need me, you know where I'm at. Hit me up. Okay.
For sure.
All right. Uh, Bridget, how you doing?
Hey,
Why you laughing?
I feel like I fell off the cliff and trying to revive myself. Um,
It's all
yeah,
good.
so
It happens. All right.
it's been a struggle.
So
But
talk to me. Like last time you. Matter of fact, better question. This morning, did the scale drop or no?
I'm scared to get on the scale. I don't know. I'm scared. Like, I haven't had a dark steak color in like almost 2 weeks. So I don't know what I'm. That's why I was like, let me tell you what I'm eating first because I know I'm gonna have to get on the scale tomorrow morning. Like,
Okay.
I made that a decision, but I just, I don't know. I just feel like I'm too. Like I'm gonna be discouraged if I get on there.
Okay. So now here's the thing. Let's say it's a week before rent is due, and you know you kind of overspent in the club last week. Are you gonna try to just hope that you have enough money in the account when the rent's there, or you want to figure out exactly how much money you need to make it happen?
I need to figure it out. Like, no.
So the longer you delay it, the longer you're figuring out exactly what I need to fix. Because at the end of the day, the scale doesn't lie. It's just gonna show you based off your choices and your lifestyle. This is your weight. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
your stick color doesn't have to be the darkest thing in the world either, but you just want to have color on your stick on average. Okay, and you know the darker is better. Just like the more money I have in my bank account, the better. But if I know I'm making enough money where I'm going to be able to pay my bills, does it really matter? Okay,
Right.
so I definitely want you to weigh yourself so you know exactly what needs to happen. Okay, now two, um, well, since you haven't been weighing yourself or whatever, you said you had been stalling for X amount of time, give or take, right? Okay,
Right.
so let's talk about the lifestyle factors as to what could cause you to stall. Are you working out 4 to 5 days out the week?
I just started back actually doing that last week because I was doing Pilates for 6 months and I don't feel like it was getting me anywhere.
Okay.
So I have been like working out at least 4 days a week for the past 2 weeks
Okay.
or 2.5 weeks. But
Okay. So now we all should know that you working out in the gym is better than any other workout you could possibly think about. Period. A home workout, Pilates, solid core, Orange Theory, any of that. Working out with weights. And then choosing to do a little bit of cardio after that is always the best working out for metabolic health, for lifespan, for health span, and for aesthetics, everything. So that's why I choose to work out in the gym 4 days out the week. The other 2 days, I got cardio days. Sunday, I don't do God, excuse my French, damn nothing. Okay? So the more I move, the more I'm making progress to attain my goal. You got to keep that in mind, ladies. All right? Now, Bridget, tell me, well, you didn't weigh yourself yesterday, but tell me everything that you ate and drank yesterday so everybody in this group can hear what you got going on. And then we're going to compare.
okay, so let me go back to my pictures I sent you. Okay, so I kind of, switched it up at first. So I ate a Quest bar, well, a Quest cookie, and then I had the nutritional granola with like some almond milk in it. The Sola granola.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was able to actually finally eat a meal. So I mixed ground turkey with ground lamb and with like some peppers and Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
And then for dinner, I kind of threw something together. So I kind of had the real good chicken nugget things with some beef bacon and the zero sugar, was it the Greek yogurt, the Kobani Greek yogurt,
Okay.
and with like the sugar-free sweet sauce to dip my chicken in.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Was that it?
let me see. What else did I send you? I think that's all I sent you.
Okay. Now, what time did you go to sleep or get in bed, and what time did you actually start to nod off?
I got in bed at 10 something, but I didn't go to sleep till probably about like 11:30.
Okay. And from 10 o'clock to 11:30, what was Bridget doing? If you don't mind me asking.
Ooh, I was watching The Gladiator too. It was so awesome.
Okay. So, if you noticed this morning the scale didn't drop as much as you want, if at all, what would you point the finger at?
I would say maybe going to sleep a little bit earlier and then probably not eating the Quest cookie.
Why did you specifically point out the Quest cookie?
Because it has the most calories.
Okay.
The most fat.
Okay. Now here's the irony about what you said. If you paid attention to our notes yesterday, you notice how I said be mindful of what? Specifically what?
You said measuring the cereal that I was eating and the serving size.
The granola.
Yeah.
That granola, or any granola at that matter, is going to always have more calories in it than any little cookie. Even if you have the whole cookie. But they know that. That's why they round everything down. Which is why I said, hey, if you're going to start off your day, I want you to start off your day with real whole foods. If you look at this right here, it's obvious. This is bread, by the way. It is obvious that I just ate what?
A sandwich.
What type of sandwich?
A cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Well, not a cheeseburger. Close. But an egg and cheese, bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. That is way better than cereal. Period. Because I'm getting more protein. I'm eating more whole foods. The worst thing that I had was the bread. But guess what? It's low carb bread. It doesn't matter. And because I chose to have this bread for my lunch meal, which means I didn't have nothing man-made earlier during the day, because I didn't. Because I chose to have bread for this meal, guess what I'm not going to do later? I'm not going to have nothing else man-made. Do you see what I'm saying? So, what I'll need y'all to start doing is being more selective with your man-made products. Say, what do I want today? Do I want this ice cream? Do I really want this Quest cookie? Do I really want some granola? Or do I want this bread? Okay, actually I had some granola yesterday. I want some bread. Once you make that selection, you cannot have nothing else. If your goal is to really see the scale drop the very next day. It's when you compile man-made things, you're going to stall 9 times out of 10. Okay? And I'm going to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. But first, Ashley, stay tuned in because I'm going to call you in like 2 or 3 minutes. All right? Laquita, how you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm living, I'm breathing. So how was your week overall?
Pretty good.
Okay, pretty good. Have you seen a brand new number on the scale you haven't seen yet on this program or no?
Yes.
Okay. You did?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, congrats on that. Okay.
Thank you.
This morning, did the scale drop or no?
It did.
Okay. So what I would love for you to do is tell me everything that you ate and drank yesterday.
Yesterday I had
3 eggs and 2 egg whites. This beef sausage thing that I found at the store. And a couple of slices of bacon. Then I had one of those Atkins little chocolate thing. I think it's like pecan something, like a turtle type thing. I had that. I had a plum. I had a clementine or mandarin orange, whatever you want to call it. And then I had a pork chop with green beans. And then I closed my window, went about my business. And then like 5 hours later, I was starving. So I had a couple of eggs and a slice of cheese.
Okay. So if you pay attention to Laquita's day, she had more whole foods or man-made foods?
Whole food.
Most definitely whole foods, right? And you notice how she said I had a plum, I had a clementine, which basically means she had fruit that was not berries, right? And how many times did I flinch? I didn't. Why? Laquita, how many grams of carbs is in a plum, give or take?
I think about 11 or 14, something like that.
How many grams of carbs is in a clementine, give or take?
I think it's about the same thing. Yeah.
And she's 100% right. Do you know why I didn't flinch? Because I know she Googled it. Did you Google it?
Yes, I do.
So if you Google it, like I knew a plum had about 13 to 12, 11 grams of carbs because I Googled it one time too. And I know a clementine off the top of my head got 13 grams of carbs. Why? Because oranges and clementines and tangerines are my favorite fruit. Because she Googled it, I would rather her always have that plum, that clementine, whatever that she wants, than some granola, man-made, Quest cookies, man-made, or any snacks like that. Because it is whole foods. It came out the earth like this, which means it got some antioxidants, it got some polyphenols, and it got some fiber in it, and it's natural, which means it's going to be easy for your body to break down, right? And Laquita also noticed that with these carbs, the scale still dropped. True or false?
Yes, it still dropped.
And you ate outside your window. True or false?
Correct, yep.
So why you think you had some fruit that was not berries, you ate outside your window, and the scale still dropped?
Yeah, I think for me, definitely the man-made foods, I find like I can't eat them at all. Even the stuff that you said is okay, because it definitely causes me to stall. So I think, yeah, for me, sticking with real food is the key. Yeah, definitely.
Period. Thank you for sharing, Laquita. Okay? And ultimately, she ate outside in the window, though. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Why, Laquita?
I was really hungry.
She was really hungry.
Yeah.
Do you know why you was really
I
hungry?
ignore it. I think that even though I ate a lot of different foods, I think the portions might have been too small. So I think that's why I got hungry later on in the day.
3 eggs and 1 egg white is not going to keep nobody full for longer than 3 hours. You see what I'm saying? And then after that, you said you had a pork chop, but 1 pork chop, right? A pork chop is not going to keep nobody full for longer than a couple hours. So in theory, you had a perfect day with your choices. But because of the portion sizes, like you said, and by the way, a pork chop is technically heavier than eggs. So switch it up. That's why you're starving to death later. Okay? So I want ladies, I want y'all to have or think about having a bigger meal as your first meal. For real, for your first meal, I don't want you to have anything man-made. If y'all can help it. Then later during the day, depending on how you feel, you can have something man-made or introduce these things. Okay? And Laquita, once again, she had 3 eggs, egg white, but she also had the pork chop. If she decided to have the pork chop, eggs, maybe together, then she probably would have snuck in another meal where she probably don't even need the clementine and the plum and the pecan cluster thing from Atkins. You see what I'm saying? So just be mindful of the extra additions that you're adding to your meal choices or in your day. But at the end of the day, I will always rather y'all incorporate a little bit more whole foods, coming from fruit than you having something that is man-made and manipulated by somebody, and because it's protein based, I can have it. Okay? Eat more fruit if you want a snack. Have more plums or clementines or tangerines or whatever it might be. Just Google it first so you know what you're getting into. That's all I want y'all to do. Be aware. I don't want you to be afraid. I don't want you to demonize fruit. Okay? But now I'm going to show y'all exactly a client who's been doing amazing this whole entire week. She laughing and smiling already. How you know I'm going to call on you? I'm not even, who said I was going to call on you? So I want to congratulate Ashley because Ashley finally hit a brand new low. She came back from Atlanta, didn't gain more than 2 pounds in Atlanta. We already know how good the food is in Atlanta. And she found something out. She found some rhythm where now she's seeing the scale drop consistently. So Ashley, can I talk to you for a second? Can we talk?
We can talk.
We can talk? All right, thank you, Queen. How you doing today?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm happy. Yes.
Why are you so happy?
Because the scale is dropping.
Has it been dropping like every single day today or this week?
Yeah, it did. Even though it only dropped 0.1, yes, this morning, it still put me in 189. So I'm gonna take the.
We'll take it. We take every win. Okay. So Ashley, congratulations. So once again, ladies, this is a woman who has the will and the discipline to stay consistent, but because of her lifestyle, she'll lose weight and then she'll gain it. Lose weight and gain it. But once again, she had the will. She always had the ability to see the scale drop, right? Now it's about, can I keep it off throughout the course of a week? So Ashley, what I'd love for you to do for these lovely ladies is tell us an idea of what did you do this week that was a little bit different from any other week that allowed you to start seeing the scale drop more consistently.
I did the formula of 2 proteins and 1 vegetable, but I started doing a chuck roast in the beginning of the week so I can have my red meat, and I do a large portion of chuck roast, like a side of some shrimp and string beans. The week before I did Brussels sprouts, and I just had basically the same thing every day for my first meal, and then for my second meal, I did fish and shrimp with string beans, and I hate eating the same thing over and over again. And my plan was to have like something else, but the string beans worked, and I stuck to it, and I didn't die because I feel like I'm gonna die if I eat the same thing over and over again. But once I see the scale drop, I'm kind of like, is it really that bad? So then I stuck to that. Today I had a yogurt with my first meal, and I've been sticking to the 10 to 4. Like yesterday, I ate a little bit later. And I think the scale didn't drop more because I had like a little bit of steak with my second meal. It was a salad, because it's the only thing I did different. But I try to save the lighter stuff for later. And even if I eat at like 5 or 5:30 instead of stopping at 4, I still dropped every day this week. So I'm gonna stick to the formula.
Okay, so before this week, Ashley, what formula were you following on an average day?
I think,
or was there a formula?
This week, there was a formula, but it wasn't really a formula. I think I remember I was really upset because I was doing too much man-made food. I did like the Kaizen rice, the keto bread, the keto pancakes, and it was just, I'm like, I'm not even cheating and the scale is not moving, and it was very frustrating. But I haven't been doing any man-made stuff. I've been doing raspberries. The most man-made stuff I'm doing is the yogurt, the ratio, and it does taste like yogurt. So, and then I had like sugar-free chocolate chips, and this weekend the scale still dropped. I actually did the serving size and it was like, okay. So before I was doing like 2 veggies, and veggies have carbs, so it was still too much. So 2 veggies, and then the week before that I was doing too much man-made, so I always have to like, it's too much.
Okay.
Too much yeah.
So I love the end. What was your window that you was following before the 10 to 4 this week?
I was somehow eating like later. I was like finding myself eating at like 7:30 and not eating the right things. I remember I did like a keto cake
I remember that.
Keto cake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Raspberry flavor, right? See, I remember that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
So, but I learned that if I'm gonna eat later, like, do you really need to eat later? Are you hungry? And if you are, like, can you just eat like something clean, something very clean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing, Ashley. So the reason why I pointed out Ashley is because this week I feel like she found a recipe that she can follow. At the end of the day, what we naturally tend to do is we overlook the details to the point where now we're blaming everything else but the thing that is right there, the elephant in the room, right? So Ashley, at one point in time, she was saying, "Hey, Trey, the scale's not dropping." And by the way, she's been at this weight range, about 5 pound fluctuation, same 5 pounds, for about 2 weeks. But what she decided to do, life's all about choices, is I'm gonna make a change even if it's making me uncomfortable. What was the change? She was doing a 2 to 8 window. I said, Ashley, you know what? If you really want to see the scale drop, if you really want this bad enough, try a 10 to 4 window. Watch what happens. Because I told her to do a 10 to 4 window, she naturally, if you paid attention, she said I used to have 1 protein and 2 veggies every single meal. Now I kept saying, hey, Ashley, by the way, I need you to kind of switch it up. Just do 2 proteins, right? She wasn't doing it. She wasn't having it. But when I told her to do a 10 to 4 window, she naturally started having 2 proteins. I didn't tell her to do that, by the way. 2 proteins with a veggie for 2 meals. Because now she knows if I have these 2 meals with 2 proteins and 2 veggies, that's going to help you stay a little bit more consistent with your bowel movements. So ladies, always have some veggies with your meal. Or always have some fruit with your meal, right? But because I got the 2 proteins, now I'm going to stay full. So now she's having a meal at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock ish. Now she has a meal at 4 o'clock. And by the way, she's a nurse, so her job is very demanding. She's always on her feet. She's always moving. She's always stressed. She's taking care of everybody else but her on an average day. But because she prioritized herself with these meals, scale's dropping. And her sleep is erratic. She's never getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So that just shows you if you become more intentional, you're going to figure it out. But now question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? People's not willing to sacrifice as much as they think. She realized that, oh, I do want to eat something around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, because we all do. But I don't have to. I just want to. I'm not even hungry. I just want to. So in reference to what Laquita said yesterday, or what she had yesterday, she had eggs, pork chop. Next time I'll tell her to have the pork chop with the eggs. And then she has room for another meal that could be similar. Who knows? But now she's giving her body enough, which means that she's not going to eat outside the window, period. Okay? And by the way, ladies, just to let y'all know, if there was a hierarchy when it comes to proteins, it's always going to be eggs. Eggs is the best protein you can put inside your body, period. But then it's going to be seafood as a group. Seafood is the best type of proteins. After that, it is red meat. Red meat is the second best tier of proteins. After that is poultry. Poultry is the third best. So this will be an A. Red meat, let's say B. Poultry, let's say C. D is going to be pork chops or pork in general. Bacon, stuff like that. So just be a little bit mindful with those. You can have pork here and there. Don't definitely make that a staple in your diet because A, got a lot of fat in it and we signed up to what? Lose fat, right? But also based off the hormones that they pumping inside of it, the GMO, things like that, you don't want to have a whole lot of pork. But then after pork is going to be processed meats. That's going to be your sausages. That's going to be your bolognas. That's going to be your hot dogs. That's going to be your prosciutto or little things like that. Things that has a lot of preservatives in it and additives in it. Pepperoni, stuff like that. All right? So be mindful of those, but definitely try to have more seafood and beef. You notice what she said? She said, I never meal prep, but this week I decided to have chuck roast, which is basically beef, with shrimp. That's how I know she's been paying attention to my videos because shrimp is one of the best additionary proteins that you can add inside your meal because it's not as heavy, but it is loaded with protein. And people don't view shrimp as a meal. So you can just top off your meal with shrimp. But now that is 2 different proteins on your plate with some green beans, right? Then the very next meal, she said, I'm having salmon with shrimp. Shrimp has a lot of protein in it, barely any fat in it, right? But also the salmon got the fat that your body needs to regulate your hormones, which is going to help you stay asleep later during the night. But salmon is also lighter than chuck roast with the same green beans. So because she meal prepped, even though she never meal prepped throughout this whole entire program, she's eating the same thing every single day. But because she's eating the same thing every single day, the scale's not fluctuating. Because if it worked for me yesterday, I can expect it to work for me today. That's how it works, ladies. But that's why I want y'all to make sure that y'all finding meals that you can kind of see how your body responds to it, and then start having it multiple times a week if you have to, because you're gonna keep getting the same result. Okay. Um. Well, Johanna, since your background is going crazy, how you doing?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just got out of the shower. I didn't realize I
Oh, nah, you good, you good.
I'm so sorry.
Nah, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. So, so yeah, ladies, just try. You don't have to meal prep, but for some odd reason, the women who meal prep and they meal prepping with things that they know works for their body, dumb it down. 2 proteins, whatever green vegetable I want. If you do that, and you're not putting a whole lot of crazy oils in it, or you cooking it with butter, or before you even drop any veggies inside this boiling water, you season it. You can expect the scale to drop every single day. Be mindful of the additionary things you're doing to your meals. Okay? But great job, Ashley. I just wanted to shout her out because she finally hit a brand new low. But I knew this was going to happen because she locked in a little bit more. Okay, ladies? So that's why it's imperative for y'all to start taking pictures so you can see what you got going on. Because if you physically see it, you're going to be like, okay, I do remember I probably did add a little bit of salt in it. Or you know what, I did try to make it a different way with some different seasonings. Or you know what, I did put some butter in there before I start cooking because I'm so used to doing it. Take pictures if you're stalling, ladies. Do not write it down. Words don't mean nothing. Pictures don't lie. Okay? Lucky lady. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm surviving.
You surviving, April? How you doing, April?
I'm okay. So this is my first full day. I've been the 24 hours with just water.
Uh-huh. How you feel?
The essential water. Well, I'm hungry. I'm not even going to lie.
Okay.
I think it's making me a little sluggish.
Okay.
Like I'm kind of sluggish. So I'm kind of like, probably after we get off the phone, I'm going to go to sleep. Just so I
Okay.
won't think about it. Just
Okay.
go to sleep.
Okay.
I do have some concerns because I'm hearing as everyone is talking about what they are eating and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing with me is, see, I'm a pescatarian.
Mm-hmm.
So all I eat is seafood.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't even, so it's going to either be like a black bean burger and shrimp, or salmon and shrimp, or just like the vegan meats that they sell, because people probably don't know, but like Morningstar has like these it's like bean based. When they make those fake burger, or we call them veggie burgers or whatever, when they make them, they generally use like beans. They're like bean based. So with that being said, I'm confused as to if I can even eat that.
So here's a funny thing about what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when a lot of women say, hey, y'all, I'm pescatarian, but now I'm incorporating a whole lot of vegan fake products, why are you doing that when I literally just said the best proteins on earth comes from the sea?
Because sometimes I do want to be like, I'm going to be the Beyond Burgers. When you put them on the grill, they're really good. They're really good.
Okay.
And because I still want to eat like everybody else, I just don't eat like everybody else. So like, I'll fix vegan spaghetti. So I'll use like whole wheat, or these vegetarian noodles I have. I'll have the Beyond Meat crumbles, and then I make my own sauce, my own marinara sauce to put over, the spaghetti.
Okay. So you know what? What I want you to do, just so you can see in real time what I'm talking about, name a vegan product that you like. Morningstar, you said black bean burger?
No, the Beyond Meat burgers.
Okay, all right, boom. So first off, one thing I want you to always remember, if you're going to decide to cut out a whole entire food group, y'all, then stick with it and stand on it. Because at the end of the day, when people say, oh, I'm vegetarian, but I'm eating Oreos every single day because they're vegan, doesn't make sense. Okay? So now, here's Beyond Meat, right? Beyond Meat, is there anything inherently wrong with Beyond Meat? No. But at the end of the day, why does it have this many ingredients? So what that means is there is about 20 to 30 to 40 reasons why I can stall on the scale. But at the end of the day, let's go ahead and look at this label. If we look at the label for one patty, by the way, it's supposed to be an alternative to beef, right? Cool. 22 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 18 grams of protein. So based off what you see here, April, this is a what-based product? Fat, carb, or protein?
Fat.
It's a fat, right? So is this anything inherently wrong with this? No. But should you have this as your daily driver? No. Context. Because now if you said I'm pescatarian, what I would ask you is why not just get a salmon burger?
Oh yeah, I eat those too. I switch it up.
Okay. So I would rather you have things that came from the earth versus you finding something that somebody had to create in the lab. Because keep in mind, Beyond Meat stuff just started to exist less than a decade ago. So now, if we look at the salmon burger, right, because it comes from actual salmon, I don't know, let's look at the ingredients. It has way less ingredients, as you can see already. Yes, it got some preservatives in it because it's in the frozen section, right? But way less ingredients. But you see this one, it got 9 grams of fat, 2 grams of carbs, 20 grams of protein. This is a what-based product, April?
Okay.
So I would rather you, if you're going to be pescatarian, which is the healthiest diet on earth, then let's go pescatarian. You can have vegan stuff here and there, but I never want that to be your base. So if you're saying...
See, I don't eat that every day. I'm going to be honest, my main food that I eat every day is crabs.
Okay, so what's wrong with crabs?
All day long. Like, everybody knows what April doing. April probably eating some crabs. That's what I'm going to have. I have my crabs every day. Like, I will never stop eating my crabs.
Okay. And here's the funny thing. Do you know crabs, lobsters, oysters, and mussels are literally the healthiest things you can put inside your body, period.
Yeah, but people tend to not say that. They say that they're bottom feeders and all that. I was like, still it's better than the animals with all that stuff they put in them. Because I've been pescatarian now for almost 15 years. At first, but before that, I haven't had red meat or like pork or beef in 26 years.
Okay. And here's the funny thing about the people that says, okay, these crabs and lobsters and stuff is bottom feeders. Context is key. These are the same people that in the same breath will say, okay, well, I'm eating a Morningstar burger. Or I'm eating some pasta, right? But because it's gluten-free, I can have it. Yet, if you pay attention to majority of these vegan products, let's say like even things like vegan butter, in order for you to have these crazy oils to be put inside their food, first off, they gotta bleach it. And after they bleach it, they use something called sodium hydroxide, long story short, to kind of like in hexane to degumify it. And the smell is so bad that they have to deodorize it. Then it is in that vegetable oil aisle where you see all those oils, canola oil, vegetable oil, rapeseed oil, peanut oil, in clear containers. Every single one you seen was bleached, deodorized, degummified, because these are not natural oils. So these oils are way worse for the human body than you consuming something that was a bottom feeder. These oils will kill you faster than you eating crab, but they never say that. You see what I'm saying? So it's about why I am following this diet. So if you want to be pescatarian, once again, April, had a woman on my program. She was from Maryland. Every single day, she went to Fat Crab or Krusty Krab.
Fat boys.
Yeah, that was right, right? She used to get a crab bowl every single day, 3 crab leg clusters, shrimp, eggs, sausage, ate that every single day, scale dropped every single day, a pound. And because she didn't have any kids, she could just afford to eat crab legs every single day. So there is nothing wrong with that. The reason why people usually say they're pescatarian, but then they start eating a whole lot of vegetarian and vegan food is because, let's be real, seafood costs the most. It's a delicacy. So some people can't really afford to be pescatarian. You know? So if you really can't afford,
I
yeah.
budgeted. I'm always gonna have fish, shrimp, and crabs in my refrigerator, in my freezer.
Then you have nothing to worry about. So what I would tell you to do sometimes, and because I'm from Maryland, I'll be having just crab meat, and I like mussels, so I just always have that in my freezer, and I always just got lump crab meat inside my freezer, right? So what I would tell somebody like you to do, because you want to follow more pescatarian, and by the way, if you had a Beyond Meat burger here and there, or let's say once, if not sometimes 2 times a week, it's not that deep. It's the people who's having it daily.
Oh yeah, I don't do it every day.
Yeah, that's the problem. Okay.
No, I only do like maybe like during the summertime you grill out.
Yeah,
everybody
there you
else
go.
eating their regular burger. I put my burger on there so that and I cook mine first so it won't be contaminated. But my biggest concern is or question. So I am a little hungry. So I can't put like because I know I can't use the Crystal Light or nothing in my water right now because I'm on the fast, right?
Mhm.
And I can't have the green tea or the black coffee either, right?
The reason why is because they're gonna. Okay, so look. First off, right now, you might be thinking that you're hungry. I'm not psyching you out, by the way. If you grab some pink Himalayan salt,
You said that was for a headache.
right? But that's also if you're feeling any type of symptoms like you're feeling. If you start feeling hunger, that means your body needs more electrolytes as well. So what I would say is grab some pink Himalayan salt or some Celtic salt, or if you have lemon, grab some lemon. Real lemon, by the way.
And I got real lemon and I have the pink Himalayan salt.
Boom. So what I would tell you to do is pick either or. Honestly, I'll prefer the lemon. Squeeze some of that lemon inside your water. Wash that headache and the hunger go immediately away. Okay? So try
And
that.
last but not least, tomorrow, so my break will be at 4 o'clock. Do I have salmon with eggs or just salmon or eggs?
Just salmon or eggs. So in your case, I would just say, if you got the salmon, just go ahead and get the salmon. But if eggs are more convenient, just have eggs. Okay?
And what time do I so then I eat the rest of the day tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow you have no window. You break your fast. Or you can basically eat as much as you want till midnight. But the very next day, which will be your Saturday, you start your 6-hour window of choice.
So that means if I would not eat. I'm getting confused with it. So I would start eating. I would stop eating at the time I wanted my window to start.
Tomorrow you have no window, period.
I meant to say Saturday.
Yes. You're right.
So when I wake up, I probably won't eat. But I like to not eat at night. I think the night thing is the issue with me.
It is.
I'd rather eat during the day, so
Yes.
I would start my window that so I'm only eating for 6 hours.
Right? But once again, on this program, the window that you're following, that's what you want to follow in general. But that doesn't mean, oh man, I'm starving to death at 10 o'clock, but my window starts at 1. I can't eat till 1. Just eat. I will always rather you move your window up than move it down. So if you're hungry earlier, just start eating then. You see what I'm saying? Because you're hungry. Listen to your body. But now if you said, oh, Trey, well, I got hungry at 11 p.m., so I decided to go to jerk at night, then I'm going to say, okay, you could have made a better choice. Do you see what I'm saying? So always, if you have to eat, I would rather you eat earlier during the day than later. But tomorrow, tomorrow you have no window. Saturday, I want you to try to see what time do April naturally get hungry. I never want you to force a window. Listen to your body, right? So when I'm in the DMV, April, for some odd reason, I always get hungry at 2 o'clock. I live in Houston now. But for some odd reason, every single time in Houston, I get hungry at 1 o'clock. Why?
Oh no.
Okay, all right. Anybody else? Why?
Is it a different time zone?
Exactly. It is the same time, different area. So my body's responding at the same time. Do you see what I'm saying? All because I'm in Houston, you're in the DMV, but we're at the same time. Just the time is different, but it's the same time. Do you see what I'm saying? So now, because I'm in Houston, my window's 1 to 7. But when I'm in Maryland, my window's 2 to 8. When I'm in California, my window's 11 to 5. It's the same time. Do you see what I'm saying? So I want you to Saturday wait until you get hungry, then start eating, and that's the time on average you should follow versus you forcing a window.
Okay, and then I don't eat until that same time the next day after my 6 windows up.
On average, yes.
So it's basically like the intermittent fasting.
It is intermittent fasting. It's not basically. It is intermittent fasting.
Oh, okay, because I used to do like the 14 hours. I do like a 12 hour, and then I go to 12, then 14.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I start eating really around 10 o'clock. So I would eat from like
10 to 4.
5.
Yeah, there you
10 to
go.
4, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you see how you naturally said, oh no, I usually start eating around 10. That means you probably start getting hungry around 10. So listen to your body, right? And now if April, because let's be real, it is a weekend, right? Let's say you have plans. Let's say your boo's taking you out. Let's say you're about to go out with your girls and it's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Saturdays and Sundays, technically, April, technically.
On my cheat days.
Yeah, but what I want you to do is instead of you saying the cheat day, that's the day you have no window. Do you see what I'm saying? But I still want you to be intentional. But yes, you can be a little bit more lax on a Saturday, on a Sunday. But on a Monday through Friday, I want you to run more of a tight ship.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, but because I'm just starting, you want me to do it for Saturday just to get my body back together.
Reacclimated to it, yes.
Or prepared for it.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, I think I'm glad, yeah, I understand it better now. I just was like, but tomorrow, after my window break, I can eat after 4 o'clock up until midnight.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. All right, thanks for being patient, ladies. I'm new. I got to get to where y'all are.
All good, man. We love it. We love it. All right. And once again, April, what I'll tell you to do is kind of like what Ashley was talking about. Just make it easy for yourself. So let's say you want salmon today, right? And let's say you want, I don't know, some sea bass later. Okay, I'm gonna have some salmon, and since crab is your favorite, salmon and crab meat. Okay, then later I'm gonna have my sea bass with crab meat. And if you do it like that, you have nothing to worry about every single time. And let's say you start getting tired of crab. Okay, salmon and shrimp. You see what I'm saying? Or salmon and eggs. So it's just the extra protein that you're adding to your meal is going to be the thing that helps you stay full and help you lose weight faster because you're putting more gas in the tank. So I don't want you to think you have to eat less for you to lose weight. It's about what you are choosing to eat. but people usually don't prioritize having more protein. They prioritize having more veggies. That's why the average person stall. Okay?
Okay, so one last thing. So for tomorrow after 4 o'clock, I'm just eating salmon.
Yes.
I can have 2-3 pieces of salmon, but all I'm eating is salmon.
You can have 20 pieces if you want. Try it. But yeah,
Lord have
salmon.
mercy.
Okay?
Okay.
And once again, I'm just gonna let you know the reason why I tell all my clients doing that on their first go around is because when you do a 48-hour fast, you literally stop your digestive system. So now what's gonna happen is because you stopped your digestive system, your body has time to heal. So what it's doing is shedding off your intestinal lining. So now you're gonna realize that once you start eating again, you're gonna need to go to the bathroom in the next 20-30 minutes. And if you start mixing it up with a whole lot of things, salmon and eggs with crab and some veggies, I promise you, your bathroom is gonna be your best friend. I'm trying to stop that from happening. So keep it cute. Only salmon or eggs. The very next day that you can start switching it up and start having more of a variety because now your digestive system is back up and running. Okay?
Okay, I'll probably have to text you because I'm probably going to be scared to eat.
You can text me. But don't be scared to eat. Alright.
Because I was like, maybe okay. So I can have black coffee too.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. You can if you really want to.
Or them teas, I like those teas I showed you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, thank you.
Alright, April. I'll talk to you soon. And make sure you schedule a call for Monday too, by the way. Alright? I'm gonna send you a link.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna have to call you too Monday morning because I gotta go how you want to do the strips.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send you a link right now. So just make sure you schedule time sometime Monday, okay?
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna do that now. Alright. Alright, ladies, but other than that, I'm about to end this call. So if you have any questions that we can answer right now, speak now, forever hold your peace.
I do. When it comes to the 2 proteins, if you don't, can you just double up on the protein that you already have?
Great question. And yes. So you notice how, Paula, every single time when somebody was stalling, because you've been in multiple calls, I told them I want you to eat a what every single time?
Protein?
What type of protein?
Either steak or seafood.
Steak, seafood, or you heard me say double cheeseburger so many times, right?
Oh yeah, double cheeseburger.
Why? Double.
Because.
Go ahead.
I got you. Okay, I understand.
Okay?
And
Yeah.
another question I have is, well, I just bought all this low carb, like Quest chips and all this stuff, and you know what I'm saying, eat the fruit. And I'm like, oh God. So I already got that stuff, so what do I do?
So no, here's the thing, Paula. What some people do is they naturally say, because I can have it, I can have as much as I want.
Yeah.
So they start abusing it. So I can show you, matter of fact, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you, because I know, am I snitching if I show y'all a text thread between me and my client? I don't know.
No.
Yeah. All right, so y'all not going to snitch on me?
Don't show her name. Just
Yes, yeah, now I can't show her name. All right, cool. You know what? I'm not even going to show her then. So look, I'm going to tell y'all what she told me, y'all, right? This is yesterday, by the way. Hey, Trey. This is what I ate yesterday. I had one Oiko's high protein yogurt, right? Which is cool. But once again, Paula, it's about quantity, right? Watch this. I had a few sips of orange juice. No, it wasn't low carb. I had 3 mini protein bars. Then I had a few of my baby snacks. And I had an applesauce pouch with the baby. And some Quest chips. And oh, by the way, I had 2 chicken legs. So she literally had 7 separate snacks and 2 chicken legs. And she said, Trey, well, why was I hungry? 2 chicken legs. Do you see what I'm saying, Paula? So that is totally different from you saying, hey, Trey, I had maybe 1 or if not 2 Quest chips in a day. That's it. I'm never gonna say stop doing that. But when you say, hey Trey, I had my bacon, egg, and cheese, but I had it on a sandwich, and then I had tacos with my girlfriends later, so I had 3 tacos, and I had some Quest chips, and I had 1 protein bar today.
Yeah.
That's what I hear on the average day, by the way. So if you ain't doing all that, Paula, you have nothing to worry about. Okay?
Another question I had, this last question: how do you stop when you with the craving or binge eating, or what takes away like that craving? Because I know I have that issue. Like I will consume with sometimes with, especially around the time my cycle is crazy. Like, how do you like stop that extreme craving, or and that's one of my concerns too.
Okay. Good question. So, in order for you to fix something, first off, you gotta be aware of it, right? So, Paula, you're already saying, hey, Trey, I know for 100% fact on my cycle, I crave. If you know the human physiology, you gotta ask yourself, why do you crave more during your cycle? The reason why women crave more sweets during their cycle is because A, your estrogen is bottom out. Long story short, it flatlined, right? So your body's looking for something to pick up your energy and to pick up your dopamine. Because if you don't have enough estrogen, then your body cannot create dopamine either. That's why you don't have no energy to do anything or do your regular workout, your activities, etc. You just want to lay around the house all day, right? So now you taught your body that every single time you give it chocolate or this sweet treat, it gets a dopamine spike. That's why now you crave chocolates and sweets and things like that. All right? So what I would tell you to do, Paula, is first off, because you know this happens every single month, don't play yourself on this program and say, oh, well, I'm trying to lose weight as fast as possible. I'm not going to have none of these snacks for 60 days. And then you have none of these snacks in your household. So now, because you have none of these snacks on your household and your cycle comes around, now you're in the cold stone line.
Yes.
Because you're still going to end up with the same thing that you want. So what I would tell you to do is give yourself the time to do your research or ask me, hey, Trey, during my cycle, I crave X, Y, and Z. Text it out to me so I can tell you the alternatives. That way you have that in your house. And that way...
Take a picture of what I have, because I did get the snacks. I did get a lot of keto snacks. I'm being honest.
Okay.
And I didn't know. I didn't know, so I'll take a picture of what I got. That's
okay, yeah. But you can have these during your cycle. I'd rather you have a household full of snacks and you are, being mindful of it versus you having a household of no snacks. And then now, every single time you crave something, now you put on your shoes, now you going into your car, and now you're grabbing some Kit Kat bars.
right. I understand that.
Okay? But now, 2, the main reason why women crave things when they're on their cycle, especially sweets, is because women naturally tend to not eat enough, drum roll, protein.
Protein.
So if me and Paula, I don't care how much you're craving anything. If I take you to Ruth Chris and I made you eat a whole 16-ounce steak with a whole side of Brussels sprouts, how much butter cake you think you're gonna be able to eat after that?
Nothing really.
Why? What happened to your cravings?
Because the protein that will take away the probably.
Exactly. But what women naturally do is they say,
I don't know. Sometimes on my cycle, it'd be crazy, but yeah, probably I have to eat steak. I don't eat much protein on my. So I do. Okay, I got you.
do you see what I'm saying?
Got you.
So when y'all crave stuff, y'all just want to eat what y'all want. That's what happens. And then once you start that snowball effect, it's going to keep rolling. So you start off your day with, okay, let me just make sure, I'm going to just start my day with Starbucks. Nothing crazy. That Starbucks was so good. Now you're like, ooh, you know what? That dude got some chocolate covered almonds in my house. Oh, yeah, low carb and then keto. I can have it, right? And then now you're like, oh, man, well, I might as well have these low carb tortillas. So it's like it's a snowball effect. All because you start off your day with the Starbucks drink. That's why I want y'all to really start prioritizing protein first. And ladies, if you're somebody who's menstruating, you need to replace the iron that your body is losing from the blood. So you're going to see that if you actually are eating more steak or more chuck roast, and things like that on your cycle, or more seafood. Let's say you're not eating a whole lot of red meats. Eat more seafood. You're going to realize that now the scale's still dropping. But what women usually do is because you're not eating enough iron during your cycle, you're going to stall because you're stressing your body out. That's how it works. That's why the average woman stalls on the cycle, because you're eating less, but you're eating more of the snacks that y'all want, opposed to eating more of the thing that your body needs, which is iron that comes from red meat or seafood. Okay? So, if you know you crave stuff on your cycle, get the stuff that you crave inside your house, just a better alternative. That way, when you're craving it, you have a better option, opposed to you having all the excuses in the world to now end up in Cold Stone because I don't have what I really want, and that's what I want. So guess what? Now I'm gonna have it. You're not at fault at that. But if you have some Nick's ice cream inside your house, or some protein ice cream inside your house because you got Ninja Creamy, and then you still chose to pack your bag, put on your shoes, start your car, end up at 7-Eleven to get some Ben & Jerry's, now you're crazy. Now that's wild. But you know that. Okay? So, supply yourself with the snacks that y'all like. Just keep it cute. The best type of snacks for y'all to have on an average day that is keto low carb and you can still expect the scale to drop every single day is the salty snacks. So the Quest chips or the Beyond pretzels, things like that, opposed to the sweet snacks. Okay? Just keep that in the back of your head. Every single time the human body's craving salt, or when you're really craving sugar, it really wants salt. It just runs off the same neurotransmitter.
What I got this my last question.
Okay.
A lot of times you say that, but a lot of times I crave salt and sweet at the same time. And that's I'm like, how does that work?
I'm gonna show you. Okay, I'll show you an example. Next time you're craving something salty, eat some Quest chips. Next time you're craving something sweet, eat some Quest chips. And try to eat the whole bag. See what's gonna happen. That is gonna go away immediately. But we all know sweet tastes better than salty.
But don't you drink salt and juice together? That's what I'm like. I'll do it. I'll listen.
You said salt and juice together. What you mean?
Meaning, like, when you eat something salty, you want something sweet.
Not really. We just always taught ourselves to do that because majority of the man-made processed foods that we eat has sodium in it along with something sweet in it.
Okay.
But now let's say you was craving something sweet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I tell my clients, okay, you craving something sweet, have some fruit. Why do majority of women say, oh, I don't want the fruit?
Mm-hmm.
That means you wasn't craving something sweet. You want something specific. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's what you taught your body to expect. But I know one thing's for certain. If you really craving something sweet, have all the berries you want. Have some watermelon. You're going to be like, oh, I'm getting tired of this watermelon. I just want this ice cream because I taught my body to expect some ice cream every single time. And it got more flavors to it. And it's more fun than the watermelons or berries. That's what it is.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
But other than that, ladies, thank y'all for making this call. This call is going to end. And the next one's going to be on Tuesday. Okay? Have a good rest of y'all week.
Thank you. Happy Easter, everybody.
All right, y'all. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Don't eat too much chocolate eggs.